This is Moni Castaneda, and I'm here on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. This is my new time to be doing live videos to share with you. And so today what we're talking about is how sometimes heaven leads you down a path and you think it's because there's something there for you to find, and it's actually about you helping somebody else. And this happened to me very recently. Last year I got a car. It's a used car, but new to me. And recently I was told that my car needed new tires. And we were going on a trip. We were going to be in the mountains, and I had been there before, and I knew it was a very interesting road. You know, it's going up the mountains, and there's a lot of curves, and there's a lot of U-turns. And I wanted to make sure I had really good tires for that trip. I didn't want to risk it. So the week right before the trip, I was calling and asking about tires, getting estimates from all sorts of different places. And what happened is this. I wanted to get different estimates, and I wanted to get the tires installed and aligned before we went on the trip. And so I called all the usual places and local places and compare prices, right? And when I was about to make my decision, I felt that I just couldn't make a decision right then and there. And so let me hear, I need to make sure that the video has sound and everything. And I also want to share it to my group, because I now have a Feng Shui for Us Facebook group where you can share all sorts of things. You can post photos of what you are doing in your home to turn your home into a dream home, so you can realize your full potential in that home, which is what I'm all about. I'm all about helping people turn their homes into dream homes so they can start living their dream lives. And so I was all ready to make my decision, and I was gonna call and make an appointment, and all of a sudden I got a no. Like those the silent voice that comes from heaven. It's a soft silent voice, but it's very, very clear. And I have heard it numerous times in my life, and I have learned to recognize it. I would like you to tell me in the comments if you have heard the voice from heaven. Like I use the word heaven because heaven is the word we use in Feng Shui. But you could use the word God, or you could use a different name for God, or you could use universe, life, or spirit. A lot of my healer friends like to use the word spirit. And so I use the word heaven. So you let me know if you ever have heard the voice of heaven very clearly leading you in a particular way. And so I heard, no, you need to do more research. And then I thought, okay, do more research. I understand that. And but I thought I had done my due diligence, and I was actually really ready to get my tires. I had checked prices, I had checked brands, I had read reviews, and but my inner voice, my inner guidance coming through heaven told me, no, you are not ready to make this decision. So I did what I often do. I consulted the I Ching. How about you let me know if you have ever consulted the I Ching, the Feng Shui Book of Changes, which is very closely related with Feng Shui. Or if you haven't, let me know in the comments if you would like me to share the resource I use to consult the I Ching. And so I went and consulted the I Ching, and the I Ching told me it was the same message, that I needed to do more research, and I needed to check with friends. And so first I didn't understand what this meant. And then it came to me that I still had not consulted my mechanic, my local mechanic. I had gone to places that specialize in tires, but I had not consulted our mechanic that has been our mechanic pretty much ever since we moved to Knoxville over 12 years ago. And so years ago when I had, now I have a 2015 Kia Sorento. Back when I had a 2003 Pontiac Vibe, he had gotten me a set of tires that were just fantastic, lasted forever. They lasted for twice what they were supposed to last. And so all of a sudden it comes to me that I haven't called Bill, my trusted mechanic, about getting me tires. And so I called him, and as soon as I started talking to him, I realized I had not done all my research, because one of the things that I had missed in seeking tires for my car was that I was not looking at the duration of the tire. So he was like, how many thousand miles do you want these tires to be good for? And then I realized, the price ranges um, uh, were probably reflecting how durable the tires were, but nobody else, these people that specialize in tires, that were experts in tires, nobody else brought that up, even to discuss. And so I like this, I really liked that he told me that. So I said, okay, give me an estimate, and then we'll talk. So he called me back, and he remembered what brand of tires he had gotten from me before, and he had done research, and the reviews were really good. And he said, well, I can get you this same brand of tires, but like bigger tires for the bigger car. And I said, okay. And so far, it seems like heaven and the chin, everything is directing me to make the decision that is best for me. And so he gave me an estimate, and believe it or not, it was the second most expensive estimate of all the estimates I had received. And it was almost twice as expensive as one of the estimates that I had gotten before, and which is probably the one that I would have chosen, And so I went to, but this is the thing, I knew that the tires he was getting me were going to be a lot more durable than all the other places had quoted me. And so I know, heaven was helping me get the tires. But when I went to drop off my car, and his wife, Deb, was going to give me a ride, I noticed he was limping, and I asked him, hey, Bill, what's going on? My husband's a chiropractor, so I said, you need Marco to check your knee. And he says, no, it's not, there's nothing wrong with my knee, it's my skin, I got burned. So he had gone to a football game, and the weather forecast, it was supposed to not get so hot, but it got super hot, and he was not prepared. Him and his family, they didn't take any sunblock lotion or anything. And so at some point, his legs, and he was wearing shorts, so his legs were getting super, super hot. And especially the one leg was getting hotter than the other. So he had a brochure they had given him, and he set the brochure on top of that leg, thinking he was going to protect it from the heat. And what actually happened is that the brochure increased the heat underneath it, and he got a super bad sunburn. I have never seen somebody get sunburn so bad. So you let me know in the comments if you ever have gotten bad sunburn and what you did for it. And so it was really, really bad, and he had to go to the doctor, and the doctor put him on antibiotics to prevent infections. And so he was on that, and he was on the antibiotics, and then his doctor had recommended a gel that had aloe vera in it, just to give his skin relief, because he said there's nothing to do, just have to wait for that to heal on its own, just take the antibiotics to prevent infections. But so he said, put this aloe vera thing to relieve the pain. And so when he told me that, I remember that my doctor had actually given me another solution for burns, and it's actually a solution that I have found to be a lot more effective, a lot faster, and to give a lot more relief from burns, from sunburn and other kinds of burns. And so if you would like me to tell you what is the thing that my doctor recommended that I use and that our family has found so effective, let me know in the comments. Let me know. I want to know what to use for burns. And this is my doctor's recommendation, so I felt very confident passing it on, and as something that you get over the counter. And so I said, I would like to help you out. And when they gave me a ride home, I knew that I had extras, because I keep extras of this product that helps with burns. And so I gave a couple to them to try. One was in a gel, and the other one a cream. And so then I realized, the reason I was being guided to get my estimate for tires from my trusted mechanic was that he needed me. He needed something from me. Now, in this case, there was a confluence of what I needed and what he needed got together in this search for tires, because I was able to pass on to him knowledge that I had on something that can help heal very fast or a lot faster from sunburn than otherwise. And he was in a lot of pain, and finally, ultimately, the consequences for me to get tires in one place or another were not as big in spiritual terms, were not as big as him getting the healing he needs for his skin. So in this case, heaven put my interest in my needs together with me being the one for me showing up to help a person with something they needed at a certain moment. But there have also been other times when my husband and I, we have talked about this a lot. We feel that you're being guided to go somewhere, to do something. And it's such a strong message from heaven that we're sure there's something for us in following a particular path. And then there's actually not. We're actually expected to be somewhere, to go somewhere, to do something, because it's going to benefit somebody else. So this is what I want you to remember. Heaven is constantly helping you. And heaven helps you in very specific ways to make sure that you do what you came to do, that you fulfill your life missions. And also, heaven utilizes your energy, your talents, and your knowledge to make you part of the help that is offered to other people. And you are important. What you came to do here is important. And also how you can serve others at particular times is also important. And part of how I serve people is I help them turn their current homes into dream homes so they can realize their full potential. I want you to live a life you love in a home that you are proud to show. They're both important. And one of the ways that I do this is by teaching Feng Shui and writing Feng Shui. So this is my new book. It's out today as a paperback. It was expected to come out Wednesday, but it came out today, early, not today as I'm recording this, is Tuesday. And I am so proud and so happy with this book because this book was released on Kindle a week ago. And so many people bought it. It got on the bestsellers list within 12 hours of being released. And people are giving me such good feedback. Some people are telling me they're staying up late reading the book. And other people are telling me their spouses are like, why are you moving things around? And people are already, I'm going to put the link to my Facebook group here. If you're not already in my Facebook group, join my Facebook group because you can post photos there and show me how you're making improvements in your home to make it your dream home. So this is out today, and it has a very low introductory price. It was pretty much about as low as I could go, because this book has over 200 pages. Look how fat it is. But it's pretty small in the sense, it fits in a purse, so you can carry with it with you everywhere. And it's a really good book for a gift to give somebody that you want to introduce to Feng Shui. Because this book talks about the why of Feng Shui, why it is important to work on your spaces, what is important to put love into your home, and why you can't just let it go. Why you can't just let your home become a landfill. Why you can't just let the clutter go everywhere. Why you can't just let your home get dirty. Why you have to put love into your home and put work into your home so that your home becomes a place that nourishes you, right? And so maybe it's your time. If you already got the Kindle book, or if you want to get a book for yourself, it's your time to learn. This book is one of my gifts to the world. It wasn't easy to write this book because it's part memoir, and in order to write this book, I had to revisit a lot of very moving, emotional incidents, and not all of it was pretty. I grew up in a very dysfunctional nuclear family, but I wanted to share this. I wanted to put these things in this book because I want you to know, no matter what happened to you in your life, and it doesn't even matter what you have done. If you feel guilty about anything, if you have regrets, it doesn't matter what regrets you have. Right here, right now, you can start making changes for the future and doing better. And so it was very hard to write this book, and I'm putting a lot of me out there, a lot of stories about what has happened to me, and the people around me, because I want people to understand how important it is to have good Feng Shui and what terrible things happen in homes with bad Feng Shui. And so this is my gift to the world, and I want you to consider the possibility of giving this as a gift to yourself as we are speaking. I'm still keeping the Kindle version of the book at 99 cents. I'm going to put the link below. And this is being released for an introductory price of $7. I am still offering people the deal. You know, if you get this book and send me a confirmation that you bought it, I will give you 1-year membership for free, completely free, on my new members-only website, where I share a lot of more of what you can do room by room to make your home into a dream home. And so think also about how you could be the one, how you could show up for somebody else, but bringing their awareness to Feng Shui. If you already know how important Feng Shui is, consider getting this book, you know, small enough for stocking stuffers, if your stocking is not too small. And this is, I think it's 5 by 8 or 5.5 by 8, and which is a pretty standard size. And so consider that you might be the one, that you might share this with somebody, and this might become the gift that changes their life. And I would love for you to tell me if there have been any circumstances, any times in your life, when you have received this message from heaven, spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, or just life, where you needed to be somewhere, where you needed to show up to be the one for someone else, to be that person that will help another. I would love to hear your stories. Thank you so much for coming and watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, I'm going to be broadcasting live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Goodbye.